And then I believe the very last thing it says is, 3 hours ago. It goes from 3 days ago to 3 hours ago, Superman loses his first fight. And then, you pan off into the snow and you kind of see Superman laying in the snow with blood on his mouth. And, my first thoughts when I first see this scene is how amazing this scene looks, how amazing his colors look on the background of this white snow. And I can't whistle, so don't expect me to do that on here, but he blows out this loud whistle, and immediately we just see this, dog, we see kind of like smoke moving fast, and then we see this dog run to Superman's aid, and we get Superman, we get a dog, which we've never gotten in any other Superman movies. But giving us Krypto the dog was, man, I mean, that was a very dope left field thing to do, giving us something different, something new. And so the dog shows up, and the first thing he does, he starts pouncing on Superman and hitting him. And Superman is he's already beat up, and the dog is beat up. Well, no, not these. They've had different iterations of people, or no, most of the time when I've seen Superman, it's always been like some type of AI, like some type of digital representation of something at his fortress. If you know Superman, he gets his powers from the sun, and so this little projector that focuses the sunlight on him, it's basically just fixing Superman and getting him back right. And so then Lex goes through, and he's like, this is what we came for. And it's basically the last known text we know of his parents to Superman. But right as this moment happens, I believe the dog attacks the nano chick and scraps her face. But anyway, so he hits the dog with some nanotech, and then Lex has her set up her whole thing where she's like using her nanotech to hack into the text to get the rest of the video of the parents' tech. I can't remember exactly the caption, but Superman they see this, and Superman is watching on a phone as he plays out his parents' translation of his parents' text. And in the text, he hears the usual thing he always hears: go to Earth, protect them, help them, save them. And he goes, what's wrong with that? And then the next part, he says, earn their trust and take over. And you will take over and lead them. And, basically it sounds like his parents are telling him to enslave him. And so the next morning, Superman turns himself in. He walks in. Ultraman knocks his head into the ground, and he goes, dang, do you have to be this rough? And the cube is moving, and as it's moving through the whole little thing, Superman can see his dog now running on a little treadmill chasing flying raccoons. And so he's threatening this guy, and the guy is telling Superman, don't say nothing. Like, that's how much he believes in Superman, how much even after the whole text comes out with the parents, he's still riding with Superman to the point where he tells him don't say a thing. And as he's saying that, Lex blows his brains out on the second time he pulls the trigger. Brains will always beat bronze. And so, Superman smiling with blood in his mouth, and Lex is like, yo, what are you smiling for? And then he says, brains over bronze. And then he whistles.